Hi, how's it going? This is President of Color for YouTube back with another Dark Shadows review for you guys, reaction review, I should say. Here to review episode 61. Should be season 2, episode 26 if you're following along on Tubi. This is written by Art Wallace, this episode is, and directed by John Sedgwick. We are still at the dinner with Victoria Winters at the Evans Cottage. And Bert Devlin has invited himself to dinner. Here we go. Uh, there's the Evans Cottage. That little cottage. You get a good camera view of Burke and Sam here. There's room for one more. I love how everybody does this. From Catherine to Mitch Ryan to David Ford to Victoria Winters. Sorry, to Alexander. Because you're building the tension of whether Burke is welcomed at the house or welcome to dinner. Says you invited yourself, basically, and you did. These are times have changed since the good old days. And now here he goes over to I can walk in here day or night. Of course, we sit down. It's really, really good what they do here. Okay. Maggie says it isn't that you're not welcome, Burke. Because I have no. He says she has no objection. For Pete's sake. Who's Pete? And why is everything for his sake? uh, um, great. This is a great opening of that tension there between the between three characters. Vicky's more just a bystander at this point, but she's sort of a part of this conversation. And she's like, "No, I don't mind if you stay for dinner." Like, well, oh, it's not my house. So that's what Vicky's sort of like. She's just there, like, oh, I don't care if you stay for dinner. I ain't gonna feed you. Bert, so food is ready. Nobody's gonna be able to eat nothing. Dinner does not happen. What a waste of food. Why don't we turn off my manslaughter? Yeah. How smooth is Mitch Ryan in this scene? This whole thing, he just like owns it. It's like, Jesus, it's so criminally good. I love David Ford's face. He just like raises his eyebrow, squints his eye. It's like, yeah, yeah. Not the blue whale, goddamn you all. That's why you were all in that accident. It's because you didn't go to the blue whale. That's the real reason. Police trace the car to Burke. We get Burke's side of the story. He says that Roger made him pull over, and Roger drove, and Roger hit the man. It's Burke's story here. Really great close-up sequences, getting 3 people in one shot. And now John pulls back, and we get all 4. Pulls in, we get Catherine and Burke. So we get a close-up of Sam Evans. I talk about the camera work a little more than I do the dialogue because I know what's coming here, but I've already told you guys. I think in this episode, here I'll tell you guys now, so I don't talk over these people. Sam's gonna leave the Evans cottage. He's gonna go over toward the bottle and say, "Oh, this bottle's almost empty. I gotta get another one." He doesn't come back. He leaves his own house, and Catherine Lee Scott's character Maggie Evans goes try to like, "Hey, my pop's gone." What? And, Mitchell Ryan's birthday was like, "What? What's he?" And she's like, "What's he running from, Burke? What is it? And I love Mitch Ryan's line in this. He's got a lot of great ones. Himself, which I agree. He is running from himself in every way. You also have in this episode, Vicky, she's heard both sides of it, and she's not sure what to think, about the manslaughter case. And Sam goes to the Collinsport Inn, and he tries to get the letter that he wrote for Maggie back, but as Mr. Wells explains to him, I can't give you the letter. You're not the one who put it in here. Maggie is. What's my letter? I wrote it. No, I don't care if you wrote it. House rules. I didn't make the rules. The post office did. You take up them. The devil with the rules. I mean, Sam's got a lot here too. It's good. And so he doesn't. Obviously, Sam Evans doesn't get the letter. And I think to me, the best sequence in this episode is Burke hounding Maggie, and then Vicky talking to Burke, and Vicky's trying to stick up for Maggie. I really love that about Victoria in this episode, and I love how Catherine Lee Scott. You can tell in this episode that it looked like Catherine Lee Scott was about to cry, and I do think she was trying to bring on tears. It looked like she was all but successful, or she was successful, or had teary eyes at least. Great job by Catherine in that episode doing that. I think that is so. You want to talk about making your character very, humanizing your character and making them relatable. What a hell of a job. I don't know. Maybe I'm the only one in this. I don't think I am. I don't think I am. And so in this episode, after Burke, because Burke says he was going to question Sam about Bill Malloy's death. That's what he's saying. That's why Sam left. And he thinks Maggie knows more about it. Maggie said, "No, I know her." He knows that Bill Malloy and her father were great friends. That he would never hurt Bill Malloy. Maggie defends her dad, obviously. I think the best shot in this episode here with the camera is just how they shoot the Evans cottage again. Because it's very different a bit. It's close-ups, they pull back, close-ups, pull back. side views. It's not the same exact way it was shot in the previous episode, and that's something I really appreciate about this. That you get. Look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend I know whose call it was to do that, whether it was Dan's or the director's. But I do think the directors had input. I mean, I'd love to think that the directors, at least when they're filming this episode, okay, let's shoot this, and we'll go. I do think they deserve a lot of credit for what they filmed because they did a hell of a job. I think the production crew too did a hell of a job. And again, I think what really puts it all over the top, outside of the great acting we get by everybody here, is Cy Tomasoff's sets. Sets. Um, no, it's gonna sound really great job here. Just you get because you don't get much in the way of set location here, but you get two specific ones. The Evans cottage and the hotel, and it's really well done. The scene I love the most is how, because I noticed this most of all with this episode. This episode really camera focuses on Burke's movements and how he moves around, and the camera seems to somewhat follow him a bit. But also, you don't just get that with him. I think you get that with a lot of the other characters too, and who they interact with. That's what's so great about DS2. That if somebody's talking to somebody else, you may know, depending on who the director is, and this is why I say where the directors deserve credit, because you would get, sometimes you get the shot of, you'll get the back of David Ford, and you'll get whoever's talking to him, and you'll watch that person say something to him, and then you get a close up if it's John Sedgwick of David Ford's face, or you get a really extreme close up if it's Lila Swift. Great fucking job. Is this my favorite episode of the 60s? No, it's episode 66 actually. Because that's sort of what, of all the episodes that really push Burke, that's the episode that does it most. It's a great episode too. It's where Burke goes up to Colin and Vicky says what happened. She says, because she's telling the truth, she did talk to Roger till about 10:30. That is true. But she also says she believes what Roger's saying. Yeah, she shouldn't stick her nose out that far. But I'm recording. Give me a minute. I really enjoy the hell out of this episode too. The camera angle of the three of them standing is really good. I mean, Alexandra Burke Alexandra, Victoria Winters, Burke Devlin, Mitchell Ryan, Kathleen Scott, Maggie Evans, and the Evans Cottage. But what I really love most is getting all four of them in on a shot earlier in this. And I sort of went back here too. They pull the camera back. We see all four characters in one shot. And these set designs, again, it's a smaller set design because it's a cottage, and yet the camera crew, and you see that small kitchen table right there too. And I love how just this shot is really well done. Again, great job by John Sedgwick. My favorite I more love when the Evans cottage is dark. before the lights come on. I think the Evans cottage looks really good in the dark. Um, with the black and white, the way it sort of brings out the, because I think it brings out the paintings even more when it's dark in the Evans cottage, if that makes sense. If you guys disagree, please do. I love talking stuff, so um, I really love the scene where Maggie and Victoria are sitting on the window ledge of the Evans cottage talking about her dad. Um, it's a really great scene between Alexander and Catherine. Um, and I love how they pull it back too. That it's not just they pull it back so you can listen to just enjoy their conversation with two women who are friends. And I think that is so good. Um, because you're getting Victoria being completely honest with Maggie on her views of the situation. Maybe Bill Malloy just misunderstood. Maybe Bill Malloy mistakenly named your dad. Maybe he thought your dad had, I like that because, hey, people are mistaken on occasions. I think that is really criminally good. And not to be outdone, but David Ford, take a bow, you magnificent man. His facial, him and Burke's facial feet, him and yeah, David Ford and Mitchell Ryan's facial features are golden. This also David Ford at the Collinsport Inn when Burke comes in and he goes, "Oh, you want to talk private? Let's go up here." And he's smoking a cigarette like a pimp, and just goes up to Burke's room. And Burke's like, "Oh, okay." Like he wasn't expecting that. Really good, right? Really, really good. Um, and it's always nice to see Mr. Wells in an episode too. I do like how we get an idea of the house rules for the mail. That was interesting. I actually like that because it explains why you can't just hand Sam the letter. Um, really good stuff. Hope you guys enjoy these reviews. Frank, that's all I got for this one. I I really feel that, man, these early beginning episodes are really underrated and just really, really well done. You guys have a great night. God bless and take care.